So let me say that again. The longest relationship that everyone has in life is that with themselves. However long your life is, or however long you're on this planet for, that is always going to be your longest relationship that you have. Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is Taj, aka MahTaj Massage, and welcome to MahTaj Midas Living. I kind of wanted to do a video on self-love. With everything that's going on in the world right now, I honestly feel like the world needs a lot more love in it, and it's something that I have been actively practicing over the last 3 or 4 months. I would say I've been putting tasks in place within my own life to practice more self-love. And if you can't love yourself, you can't be loved by others, and you can't give love effectively to other people. So why not start with yourself? And I just wanted to share that in this space with you. Get your words out, girl. I just wanted to share that in this space with you guys. It only makes sense with me talking about self-love that I have some trusty rose quartz by me to keep me in a space of love myself. But also, funnily enough, before I started doing this video, so I made some notes yesterday, and then earlier on today went out, did some errands and stuff, and I thought, oh yeah, I must film my content. But prior to that, I sat and watched a reading on YouTube of a twin flame reader, and one of the things that came up in the reading was talking about self-love. So the universe always aligns things, so here I am now. I believe that everyone has their own definition of what love is. And even though we all have different definitions of what love is, we know within ourselves that that feeling or what we're receiving from someone else is love. The same way that everyone has their own love language of how they give and receive love, it's the same thing with this and the definition. But I'm sure it will resonate with someone on some sort of level. Before I delve deeper into this topic, I just wanted to say quickly, if we do vibe, join the tribe. Make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe. Thank you. Love to me personally is the most powerful energy that there is in this whole universe. I believe that creativity stems from the energy of love, and I believe that everything that is positive in this world, in this universe, stems from the source energy of love. With that being said, I would then go on to say that self-love is the way that we direct that raw energy towards ourselves. So whatever that may be for you, that is you directing that energy towards yourself. I also honestly believe that love should start from the self and should start from a place within, from your heart space, before trying to give love to others, and also before trying to receive love from others. We have to love ourselves, and to start there, I would never say that that is a selfish thing. I think that is the most loving thing that you can do, is to love yourself. And the reason why I say that is because the longest relationship that any of us will have in our whole life will be that which we have with ourselves. So let me say that again. The longest relationship that everyone has in life is that with themselves. However long your life is, or however long you're on this planet for, that is always going to be your longest relationship that you have. So if our relationship with ourselves is the longest one that we will have, it makes sense to then pour love into yourself and make that extra effort to love yourself, to show yourself love, express love to yourself. And also, the energy that we put out, we always get back. So if you're pouring energy into yourself, yes, it's going within, but also at the same time, you are putting that love energy out into the universe. And whatever energy that we put out, we always get back. I've personally noticed in my own life, the more love energy that I put into myself, I am noticing more positive things around me. I'm noticing people being more friendly and loving towards me, even strangers that I come across in my day-to-day life. I'm noticing I'm getting a lot of that energy back, and that honestly is not a coincidence. It's because I am making the effort to put that energy out there into the universe, even when that is me pouring it into myself. That energy does go out and radiate further and beyond myself. And that also makes sense because we are all one, we're all connected. So whatever you're giving to yourself, you are giving it to someone else or reflecting it back, and vice versa. And don't get it twisted, there are trash and toxic people in this world that we live in. And I'm not saying to not show them love, but I'm also not saying you have to engage with them. Another thing that you can do to be loving and show love to those people as well is to take a step back from them. Don't engage with them, but also you don't have to send negative energy their way. You can just take a step back and have compassion from afar, because hurt people hurt people. We all know this. It's kind of like how forgiveness works. Forgiveness is a gift that we give to ourselves. It's not to condone or accept the behavior of the person that has done a wrong onto us. It is a way of us healing from that situation. So you can still love someone from afar even though they've wronged you, but having that forgiveness is also a way of showing love towards someone as well. When you do things like letting go of grudges and forgiving others, it actually creates more space in your heart and in your life to be able to express and receive love. So it's a win-win situation, really. When you start actively making the effort to show yourself self-love, you honestly notice the energy changing around you. You start noticing things that you probably wouldn't notice as much before. And it's not to say that it wasn't always there. It's just the fact that your perception starts to change. So you might notice that person smiling at you across the street, or random strangers just saying hi to you, and people being nicer when you're driving and letting you through. Like, just, it can just be little things like that, but you honestly start to notice it so much more when you're in that space and energy. There is so much value in practicing self-love, and one of those things can be an improvement in your overall happiness. The reason why you will find more happiness in your life when you start practicing self-love is because it's part of the whole thing when your perception changes. So a lot of people have conditions on the happiness that they have. So, oh, I'll be happier when I get a new job. I'll be happier when I have more money. I'll be happier this, that, and the other. But that's a condition. So if you don't meet those conditions, then that kind of means you're not gonna be happy. But if you love yourself and you are happy in the skin you're in, yes, it's always nice to have more money. It will be nice to have the better job and all that stuff, all the nice things in your life. But happiness is an inside job, and self-love is also an inside job. So it makes sense that you will have more happiness and fulfillment in your life because you've let go of the conditions that you've attached to them. Because you can just be happy, not be happy because, if that makes sense. Another benefit to practicing self-love is that it increases your level of resilience against bullshit, honestly. Because you are so strong in how you feel about yourself. No matter what anyone says to you, it literally doesn't matter, because it's like water off a duck's back. You literally don't care. You're so comfortable in the skin that you're in that, yeah, whatever they say to you, you'll just be like, whatever, I don't care, because I have enough love for myself. I don't need your negative energy. It's not even gonna ruin my vibe today, like, at all. So an example of this is, I want to get a six-pack. That is a goal of mine. I don't have a six-pack now, but I still love myself without that six pack. And that is something that a lot of people do not have. People will scroll through Instagram, social media, all of that stuff, and see these perfect bodies and be like, oh, I don't look like that. Oh, I look horrible. Oh, look at my love handles. Oh, look at this. I'll only love myself when I've reached this goal of what I look like in my body. And that shouldn't be the case. I've been in better shape than I am now. I've also been in worse shape that I am in now, but I have loved myself at all those stages. Yes, there's been points where I've wanted to make changes and be like, do you know what? Get your ass in the gym. You need to do this. You need to do that. But my level of love for myself didn't change. I love myself in my before moments. I love myself in my after moments. I love myself in between. And that's what counts. Another example in regards to that, when you are completely resilient against people and their bullshit, is me loving the skin that I'm in. I'm a black woman. That can mean many things to many different people. But in terms of society and the way that we live, I should technically be unhappy and have a problem with the skin that I am in. So obviously, being black, we have racism. Being a woman, we have a lot of sexism as we live in a patriarchal society. I love the fact that I am a black woman so much. A racist or a sexist person could literally say anything to me and it honestly wouldn't bother me one bit, because I love who I am that much. And when you get to that stage, you'll be at so much peace in your life. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. Practicing self-love can also improve your level of motivation. And I say that because when we are setting goals for ourselves, whatever that may be, when we don't love ourselves and we fall off the wagon of whatever that goal is, or we're just not hitting the targets that we're meant to hit, you tend to say horrible things to yourself. You're like, oh, I'm never gonna get to XYZ. Oh, I'm never gonna be able to achieve that goal. Like, oh, now I've fallen off, what's the point, this, that, and the other. And you kind of get into that funk and you can't get out of that funk, and you're just like, do you know what, I'm just going to give up. But when you love yourself, yeah, there's still going to be setbacks. You might miss deadlines and all of that stuff. But again, your perception changes and you'll be like, okay, today was a bad day, but tomorrow will be better. What can I learn from the mistakes of today where I've missed hitting my targets? What can I do better tomorrow? And then it kind of serves as a motivator to do better from the wrongs that you've done, instead of doing that wrong and then giving up or making it worse and putting you in a state of anxiety, fear, and all of that stuff. The final thing that I wanted to talk about that can be improved with self-love is your level of mental and physical health. And that is because when you love yourself, you want to take care of yourself in every single way possible: mind, body, and spirit. And when you are taking those steps to do that, to look after yourself by showing yourself love, you'll be eating better, you will be working out, and that doesn't necessarily mean you need to bang out the gym. Whatever is exercise for you, whether that's home workouts, going for a walk, going on a treadmill, literally whatever it is, doing yoga, that is you improving your physical health. And then in regards to your mental health, you might meditate, you might start reading more, you might even do something like avoid watching the news. That's something that I did for myself to help my mental health. And honestly, since I stopped watching the news, a lot of things in my day-to-day life is a lot better, because there is so much negativity around. Yes, we need to know what's going on in the world, but there are other sources where we can find it, where it's not all doom and gloom. And that's something that's helped my mental health, and looking after my mental health is a way of me showing love to myself. Another self-care move and self-love move for me was actually joining the gym. So a few years ago, I had a serious back injury that I sustained from a job that I was in, and I was in a really bad place. I almost thought that I was gonna lose my career because I could pretty much barely move. And I've always been a person that has enjoyed physical activity and has always been active, but I never went to the gym. And it wasn't until I sustained that injury and when I got to a space where it was healing enough so that I could start building strength, that is when I joined the gym out of self-love to strengthen my core, because I didn't want to have that kind of injury ever again. And through that self-care and self-love that I showed myself by joining the gym, there were other things that then stemmed from that. I started to notice the improvement in my mental health from exercising. I started noticing that I was getting physically stronger. And then a bonus on top of that, I started seeing changes in my body that I was really liking. And even though those weren't my reasons for going to the gym, it was a happy bonus, because who doesn't feel good when they look good? Just to sum things up on this video, self-love is when you pour into your own cup and fill up your cup before pouring into others. So it isn't selfish at all. It is the most loving thing you can do, because you can't pour from an empty vessel. So make sure your cup is full before you pour it into anyone else's. And what I'm going to be doing in my next video following this one is talking about different ways that I show self-love and actively practice self-love. Some of them I've been doing slightly unconsciously. Some of them I've started to recently start doing consciously, and I've definitely noticed the changes. And so hopefully you might adopt some of these and bring more love into your own life. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below. And also don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell.